to set up a preserve or to educate people about what's under the bottomlands or the water.
After reviewing that legislation, my hope is that it could create a base of state funds that could be matched with contributions and additional funds at the local level to create facilities like interpretive centers, maritime museums, or at least add to the current facilities that we have, to allow some good archaeological research to identify more sites and document them, to create such things as diver guides that would enhance the recreational experience on these sites, and again, draw more people from out of state and out of region to, of course, spend some money in Michigan at the local community level. So there's a tourism marketing aspect of it, too, that I think could be important. It could also provide some monies for intentional sinking of vessels, if that's a direction the state might want to go. I bring that up because other states around the United States are taking great advantage of that.
Are they? Why would they do that? Just to sink a vessel that has historic relevance, or is it just any sort of boat?
They're based on certain criteria in the various states where you sink them, but the two primary reasons are enhancement of fish and aquatic organisms, production of those organisms, and recreational diving experiences. It's very tough to compare ocean environments to freshwater environments in regard to the benefits from an intentional sinking. There's still a current debate on that, but I don't think there's any question on the value that it could create for Michigan in terms of recreational diving. And again, I took a few statistics if you're interested in those.
Certainly. Yeah, I think it's very important for the viewers to really know that this is certainly a great possibility here in Michigan.
Here's an example from Southeast Florida. Of course, Southeast Florida, which includes the Keys, are the major dive destination here in the United States. Visitors and residents spent 10 million person days using artificial reefs and 18 million person days using natural reefs in Southeast Florida during the 12-month period of June 2000 to May 2001. When snorkeling and scuba diving are considered together as diving activities, adding them both together, diving and fishing contribute about equally to total reef use in Southeast Florida, which was very interesting to me to see usage of snorkeling and diving comparing with recreational fishing in the use of these reefs. The bottom line, reef-related expenditures generated $505 million in sales, that's direct expenditures, in Palm Beach County, $2.1 billion in sales in Broward County, $1.3 billion in sales in Miami-Dade County, and almost, $490 million in sales in Monroe County, which is the Florida Keys region. That's just a sampling of the economic impact from intentional sinking.
And we haven't even really tapped that here in Michigan, so...
Not at all.
We really could see an explosion, really, of revenue and activity for underwater diving and things like that. Now, there's another part of the package that I just wanted to highlight. Maybe you could talk just briefly a little bit about the Underwater Salvage and Preserve Committee, which is currently in effect. There is a committee that is appointed by the governor, and maybe you want to talk about what the present purpose of that committee is, and then how we would like to redirect them to have some real guidelines and some real purpose.
The committee functions in the past have primarily been dealing with permitting. The MDEQ has some responsibility under the Submerged Lands Act, especially when any activity means disturbing the sediment around a site. And the Department of History, Arts, and Libraries and the DNR have responsibilities in terms of permitting of activities that might in some way alter or disturb a site. The statute itself protects all abandoned historic shipwrecks that are owned by the state. So that gives the authority for these agencies to, in essence, enforce regulations and conduct permitting activities. What has been, I think, seriously absent from the activities of the State Advisory Committee is dealing with the enhancement of recreation and tourism underwater here in Michigan. I think, again, reviewing the legislation, I am pleased to see a diversification of representation on the committee to include recreation planning and development, as well as the inclusion of other stakeholders like maritime museums, dive charter operators, that in essence could provide the wisdom, a practical wisdom, on how we should proceed in private and public partnerships to better enhance generally underwater recreation and tourism in the state. And I keep coming back to that big vision to create a national and international dive destination.
Sure. And that's certainly a possibility.
Absolutely.
You see that happening easily in the next decade.
We have the quality of the resources. We have quaint coastal communities that I think are similar in perception as a destination, a tourism destination, to those in the Northeast and other areas of the state. We've got great services and infrastructure in general dealing with recreation and tourism. We need to make the connections with the market.
So have you seen, now you know that this is a package of bills that we're working on here in the state legislature. Have you seen this kind of activity in other states that are along the coast? If you've seen it, has it helped in bringing more tourism to their area?
Absolutely, it has helped, and I think it would do us well to also look at the states of Florida and Texas and how dive communities and coastal communities in general have worked with the agencies to go beyond what your current package of legislation has.
Sure. This is probably just one step.
Yes.
As we move towards greater awareness of underwater tourism here in the Great Lakes. You mentioned earlier, before the program started, there is one college up in northern Michigan, the only college that really teaches maritime history and maritime training. What is that college doing to also highlight underwater tourism?
I'm very excited about this opportunity. Northwestern Michigan College has established the first underwater archaeology academic course in northern Michigan. Well, actually northwestern Michigan.
Yeah.
We actually piloted this course last year at Alpena Community College. Northwestern Michigan College, on the other hand, is looking forward to developing a whole program, not just one academic course. And that's exciting. There's definitely a need here in Michigan for those types of research and education courses and programs. And Northwestern Michigan College seems to be very intent in developing a national level program in maritime studies.
Yeah, that's very exciting and surprising that it's taken so long for a college or any sort of educational facility to think about even looking at that kind of a program. So, well, it's wonderful to have you here today. Is there anything that you want to leave with the viewers that they should know?
Oh, just that we have an opportunity here.
Okay.
And I know the current financial situation in the state of Michigan is dire right now. We're all looking for different ways to improve that situation.
Yep. Well, thank you very much for coming and helping us to understand a little bit more about what's under the water. And we look forward to talking with you again. And thank you, viewer. We appreciate you tuning in again this month.